How you question me? Anything you want for me to explain, for you to understand, then still questioning me, doubling the question. How many talk clear now?
Okay, let's go now. I beg you, sorry.
I say,
when they call you in the name,
when a man call me in the name, he asked me, say, how many of you are working to the area? I say, we are 3.
You told the message you're 3.
Yeah. So he said, I want to give you tea to carry to
the message. You want to give you what?
Tea. Hot milk tea. Hot milk tea.
Oh, milk tea.
Yeah.
For you to drink
with bread.
The bread.
3 pieces of full bread.
With egg inside.
With egg inside my butter. So when I carry it to it. I say, thank you. I say, okay. The man I say, oh, where you going now? I say, oh, I'm going right here. So one of my friends called me.
Yeah, the same man you going to now?
Yeah, the same man.
The man say he want for you to go steal.
No, yeah. So when I go to the man, he say, clean the car. Then they are 2 now.
In a Jeep.
In a Jeep. Then they are 2.
A big Jeep.
Yeah. Black DG. 4 Doji.
4 Doji.
Yeah. So when you can judge people.
I'm just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people that can come here.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you talk in the question, can I say when I move from here, I'm free? Can I say when I move from here, I'm free? You said one talk again. I wanted to make a whole talk clear to you, but you talk in the question. Hi, not looking. Hi, you looking. Hi, looking. Then you want force another more word again. Why not belonging to the talk? I'm not going to talk again. And said they call me to the office. I go explain.
I think you explain to me that you come to get there. You say you carry the tea to the man. After you carry the tea to the man, and you come now. So what next now?
And for me, I will not there.
Nobody, you get in there. You say ask me too much question. Hey, they explain things. Say make your egg and bread. You bring it. Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you
I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When I give you answer now, then you.
Okay. Explain again. I'm not asking you no more questions again. Okay, let's go ahead now.
Go to school. The English say I need the English.
Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Sorry.
Say you take that. You take that.
I'm taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Say I can take time
to explain. Yeah, okay.
You get bring her to go steal to the main store.
Oh, so the man wanted for you to go steal from the web post store.
Yeah, he said I'm joining to go steal to the web main store to get money into the store. Then we'll go take it from there. I said, my man, I only buy for the same leisure.
Then how can the police catch you now?
The police go. Before the man called me back, I was on the 18th. They more.
The same man now?
Yeah, the same man.
The same man who want for you to go steal?
Yeah, he called me on the 18th.
Yeah.
Now I was in the night, around about 8:30. Call you back again.
So that time you go to work?
I go to work.
You before your working place, you come to the man?
Yeah, from to my working area to Clarence to now go to the man.
To go steal now?
No, I go steal.
Freedom Communication Incorporated brings to you Freedom Hub. Freedom Hub, a 2-hour informative forum where key issues are discussed to shift the destiny of our country positively.
Officials of this government are being alleged to be deeply involved with corruption. Why not subject them to the same treatment? If Master Kimia can be good enough to go to prison on allegation of corruption, I mean, Moda should be good enough to go to prison as well.
This is to me, you know exactly what happened up Capitol. You have the evidence to prove what happened up Capitol beyond all reasonable doubt. So we do not have to keep running in circles. Investigation is now a single day. The government of Liberia is an interest. It's a party in this case.
Despite of the many challenges in Liberia, poor education, joblessness, and underdevelopment, the question are, how will Liberians be reconciled with self-division, divisive, and destructive politics?
Let me address who campaign against private jet, use of private jet against President Weir. I want to publicly apologize to President. We did not understand the constraints and the reasons and the justification for using private jet.
What troubles me is to hear a sitting president, Joseph Baka, and his men to try to have a country apart. We are a post-conflict nation. Our peace is fragile. What we need to do is to reconcile and bring our people together, not to separate us, not to divide us, not to destroy this country anymore.
How can Liberian desire for progressiveness? How can 178 years old country build capacity of young Liberians and create job opportunity and enable the Liberian citizens to live a better life? To answer these questions plus many more, John K. OK and Princess Elessa Vanche Colley from Monday to Thursday at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the program Freedom Hub for the most informative talk show that brings the real issue without fear to the Liberian people on Freedom FM 87.9.
Guess what? The people come and play. I'm a winner EPA with me. The song I made and get it right. Husband has ignition and tagging from people. I was set to and I is on sale with them by get there. Say, and
It's a rescue. I just want to ask you one question. Now, will you give the rescue? You not give him the people what they want. Then you say you give the rescue. Let me ask you, Mr. Rescue, the people say not like you. You say you coming to rescue your people. Oh, that's why you to us. You hearing claims to even be the hero from your experience. But why you to us? So why the rest not stable? No job, no food, no food on the table. No just the poor. Once you not get no money, rest assured your kids can't hold. No opportunity for the youth. Instead of helping body, breaking poverty on the youth. Tell me why the people vote you for. You treating the people I get to say you not love. It's a rescue. I just wanna ask you one question. That would you give the rescue? You not give him the people what they want. Then you say you give the rescue. Let me ask you, Mr. Rescue, the people say not like you. You say you was going to change things, but we not seeing changes. Promises you made you and your rescue team. We not seeing changes. You made the whole country divided into two. CDC and Unity Party, they can't conclude. You downsizing, you wish hunting. Now on the top of the Liberian people suffering. You downsizing, you wish hunting. Now on the top of the Liberian people suffering. Tell me who you rather give the rescue now. You and your rescue team. I say, oh, it's a rescue. I just wanna ask you one question. That who you give the rescue? You not give him the people what they want. Then you say you give the rescue. Let me ask you, Mr. Rescue, the people say not like you. That's what yama 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 yama. Drama 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 drama. I live you all. Sama 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 sama. Divided into two. CDC and Unity Party, they can't conclude. You downsizing, you wish hunting. Now on the top of the Liberian people suffering. You downsizing, you wish hunting. Now on the top of the Liberian people suffering. Tell me who you rather give the rescue now. You and your rescue team. I say, oh, it's a rescue. just wanna ask you one question, now who you give the rescue? You not give him the people what they want, then you say you give the rescue. Let me ask you, Mr. Rescue, the people say not like you. That's what I yama, 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 hey. I will have drama, 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 hey. I leave you all, sama, 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 hey. You made the whole country divided into two. CDC and Unity Party, they can't conclude. You downsizing, you wish hunting. Now when they die, but they are giving people suffering. You downsizing, you wish hunting. Now when they die, but they are giving people suffering. Tell me who you rather give the rescue now. You and your rescue team. I say, oh, it's a rescue. I just wanna ask you one question. Now who you give the rescue? You not give him the people what they want, then you say you give the rescue. Let me ask you, Mr. Rescue, the people say not like you. That's what I yama, 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 hey. I will have drama, 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 hey. I leave you all, sama, 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 hey.
Okay, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and a pleasant welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9. This is the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Khan Oliver Khan. I'm here with Princess Alexa Vanja Colley. There are too many things happening in the country we will talk about today. A lot more happening in the Republic. The Liberia Revenue Authority is, tightening grips on ensuring that revenue will be generated internally in the country. This time around, they are urging all of the residential structures in the country to continue to pay their real estate taxes. We're going to be talking more about that issue as well. The Monrovia City Corporation, through the City Mayor John Siafa, has mandated all of the individuals with structures in Monrovia and its environs to pin their structures between now and the 15th of December 2025. We're going to talk about it as well. We're going to talk more about that particular situation as well on the platform. While that particular conversation is on, there is this debate in country relative to the former president of Liberia and the current president. When people talking about their health status, folks are complaining about the health status of the current president, while other people are concerned about the health status of the former president. In the midst of these controversial conversations in the country, it is important for this platform, this major platform on Freedom Radio Liberia, to have a say in that conversation. And so we're going to be providing our own piece of advice on the matter. We're going to be giving our opinion on the subject matter relative to the health status of the two leaders of our country. What is it from your end? What is it from your angle? My name is Kai. Alexa is here. We're going to take a break, and we come back. We bring you the rest of the issues making the news in the Republic of Liberia. But again, remain posted for those of you who are playing the cash giveaway, that every single time you play on today's edition, you're going to be spending 50 Liberian dollars, and if you're lucky, you're going to be winning 5,000 LD. The more you play, the better chances you are to win for yourself some money. So you play *255 *1#. It is supposed to be from Lone Star Cell MTN mobile money wallet. If you have your mobile money account from Lone Star or MTN, you have the chance to play by dialing star 255 star 1 hash. The more you play, the better your chances are on the platform. And so those of you who are playing during the course of the week, you stand a chance to win for yourself a bag of rice as well. If you do not win today, tomorrow, during the course of the week, you have the opportunity to win for yourself one bag of rice or several bags of rice during the course of the weekend on 87.9. The more you play, the better your chances are. Keep playing star 255 star 1 hash. And trust me, it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. When you play and you are successful enough to win, your money will be deposited directly in your mobile money account. And what we'll do is to call you to verify. So there are too many people who are winning. We want to be able to call few of them. Oh, yes. Because of the nature of the program, we're going to be calling few of the winners. We'll not call all of them, so we'll be calling few. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 of the winners will be called on today's edition to verify as to whether they received their money on the Freedom Win Liberia cash giveaway on 87.9. We will take our break. When we come back, we'll bring you the rest of the conversation on 87.9.
You say you give the rescue. Let me ask you, Mr. Rescue, the people they're not like you.
Before them before Ramstar for Liberia. From the center to interior Ramstar, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us.
Okay, so welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9, the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. Alexa, good afternoon and welcome, my dear.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Oliver, and I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. However way you're joining us, we'd like to say welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9 FM. We have a lot to talk about today, and like every other day, we'd like to say welcome. Also, Orange Liberia still has a lot of different things in store for all of you. So let me just say these things before we move forward with our discussion of the day. So Orange Liberia still has the Max 8 challenge. Go to Max 8 L arrow on your phone. If you haven't downloaded that yet, make sure you go to Apple Store if you're using an iPhone, or the Google Play Store if you're using an Android, to download that. And you have $1 going for 1 gigabyte, 30 whole days. Also, Orange Liberia has launched the Orange Money Mega Wave 2. So every week, a person is going to walk away with 100,000 Liberian dollars, and the grand prize is 1 million. That is in December. Flybox Rioter is still on sale, $69, and there are also international offers where you dial star 250 hash, and you choose exactly what you want to be able to stay connected with your friends, your family, or just whoever you want to talk to. Dial star 888 hash to get minutes to also call for the entire month based on what you're going to choose. So for the Orange Money Mega Wave 2, we have 3 different individuals or 3 groups that are going to benefit from this. So you have the customers, you have agents, and you also have merchants. So based on exactly the transactions you're going to do, based on the days, you're going to be able to win daily 100,000, and the grand prize is 1 million Liberian dollars for one lucky winner. So stay connected and stay posted as we'll continue to inform you of these different things Orange Liberia has in store for all of you who are valued customers.
Okay, all right. So that's what it is from Orange Liberia. Okay. So for those of you who are playing the cash giveaway, you can continue to play by dialing *255*1#. The more you play, the better your chances are to win for yourself. Alexa talk about the Orange Mega Wave.
Yeah.
Yep, and her sister is also part of the campaign, as a matter of fact. Yep. So that's what it is. So *255*1# is the code to dial. We are thinking if we can start to pay. Oh yeah, if we can start to pay some money on today's edition.
Oh my God.
On 87.9. The more you play, the better your chances are on the People's Radio. 87.9 is the frequency on Freedom FM. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So there are 2 minute things we will talk about today. A lot of issues going on in the Republic of Liberia as we speak. The missing soldier, the soldier who went missing from the armed forces of Liberia in November of 2024. The soldier is still missing. We do not have any vital information as to the whereabouts of an army personnel of the armed forces of Liberia. This is happening under a rescue administration, and we are concerned about the status of a Liberian soldier officer. This is concerning, and we are hoping that in the coming days, some civil society actors will join us, will join the rest of the country so that we together, so that we can have, justice done to this missing military personnel of ours. So that's exactly where we are. In other development, Kuch and Spark and Die continuing to ravage the Liberian youth. A few days ago, if not 2 days ago, the LPRC community in Gatnesville witnessed a situation where 2 young individuals died as a result of a Spark and Die, and one of the individuals who was also involved was struggling for his life. I don't know what is the status of that situation as we speak, but what we confirm is the fact that 2 young guys passed on us to a point where we are concerned about how drug is ravaging the Liberian younger population, and so this is very, very concerning. And so, Alexa, those are part of the issues we are talking about while we decide to transition to the real conversation on the platform on today.
So I think I like the fact that you started with the issues of one of the major issues we have, that is drugs, and just the availability of these different kinds are really alarming. And that brings me to ask this question. I remember August, we had a serious march where you had mothers, you had just different people getting together. And after that march against drugs, you also had the leaders to have a meeting with the president. So, because, before that, I asked the question and I was like, after this, much publicized march, against drugs, what is next? So August has already passed, September. Now we're in October and we have like just a few more days to be here. So a few more days to November. So what is next? And the question is yet to be answered, because you had a meeting with Joseph Boakai, and after that, you still have a lot of young people dying. If you just go into to go on the street or different corners, you're going to see a lot of young people. They're still dying. There are people who are still bringing drugs in the country. So I don't know exactly what is going to happen to our young people after a couple of years, or after a few more years from now. I don't know what's going to happen to them, because you have a lot of them. their futures are being destroyed, their lives are being taken away from them just because you have drugs available in Liberia. So what is going to happen? Do we still talk maybe once in a while we're going to talk about it, but it still doesn't cut it. It doesn't change the fact that you still have drugs available in Liberia. So Mr. President, what's next? And the campaigners, what's next? I mean, that was like one hell of a gathering. You had a lot of people there, which was really okay. But again, I was asking to distinguish the people who are going there to petition lawmakers and also lawmakers, because before that date, you had lawmakers wearing T-shirts talking about "I'm also a victim." So they also have the laws in their hands, and they have the influence to change these laws or to strengthen the already written laws on the book in order to help our young people. But it is still ongoing, and you still have our borders, you still have jobs coming in Liberia, and we don't know. And one of the most notable ones of recent was the one where they talked about Kalando. His truck was caught with 40 plus cartons of tramadol. So how far is that as well? So we need to know different pieces of information, especially when it comes to people who are maybe prominent or eminent individuals in our country, in case they are linked to some of these things. If there's a need to do a thorough investigation where we understand if they're really linked or not, we need to understand it. Because if one of the people who there at LD said most of the thing about the drugs been there, baby people in the hand inside. So if you're fighting hard to kick drugs out of Liberia, you still have people who are in this government. There some of them are also connected. So how are you intentional about this? So I think Joseph Walker needs to do the things that are to be done, and LD also they should focus mostly on not just fighting or beating the victims, because I think attention should be placed on people who are bringing these substances in the country. Because if Alexa is just a victim and she's here, she's an addict, 100%. I'm going to get some more money. I'll go buy it from the person who is bringing drugs in the country. So you can also work on the people who are taking in drugs. You can have a rehabilitation center for them or whatever it is, but focus most of your attention on the people who are bringing drugs in the country. Because if you're going to leave them out and continue, beating the young boys, the young girls, and saying, "Oh, you stop taking drugs," it doesn't stop it, because they'll still get money and go buy it again from the same people and bringing it in the country.
Okay, all right.
Like seriously.
Okay, so that's exactly what it is. So there are other issues in the country we'll also be talking about. So news from the western region, the western region of our country, specifically in Bapolu District number 3, a a former representative candidate in the district number 3, was able to donate an ambulance to the people in Bapolu, like I said, their district number 3. So Honorable Tom Tawe of Bapolu County, district number 3, was able to donate an ambulance to the district. He ran in the district but was unsuccessful, but he has decided to see the need in giving back to the district. And this is where we want to come in. A lot of you who want to run, especially when you have the means, I'm not saying it is forced to do project in your district before you can want to contest, but when you have the opportunity and the capacity to do some projects in your district, or wherever you want to contest, if it is a county level from a senatorial perspective, don't wait until the people give you their job before you start doing something. Start making some because most of the times when people win, there is no guarantee that they will come back to operate with the people anymore.
It's like you're in a susu club.
Yeah,
you're
so
going to win, you're going to get your money back you spend during campaign.
So like Honorable Tom Tower is doing in district number 3, Bapolu County, providing an ambulance plus other developmental initiative for the people there. It is very essential that all of you who want to be lawmakers, look, I have said, and I will say this over and over, Alexa, if I have the opportunity to become a candidate in any of the elections, whether in Montserrado or Maryland County, where I'm from, or even the presidency of this country, let me not go there. But at the end of the day, I mean, that particular race is going to be differently done. I mean, I'm going to do it from a different perspective. Look, make some impact. You know, have some contribution to the people. You know, like during the days of President, where he was not contesting. He didn't have the presidential ambition when he started paying people school fees at the University of Liberia. I remember when he donated a bus, you know, way back during the Taylor administration to the University of Liberia. There are people in this current government, in the Unity Party, who were on the scholarship of President George, where, you know, the refugee camp, he was giving food and other things. Do something. Let the people know that you love them. Let the people know that you got that humanitarian feelings. You know, then when you want to contest now, you know, some way, somehow, even though there is no guarantee that away from that, there is no guarantee that when you give them something before becoming a leader, you will remain good. But the fact is, do something, you know, make some intervention, especially when you have it. If you do not have it, it's understandable. But once you have the capacity to do something, it is very essential that you make some intervention. So, Mr. Tom Tower, Honorable Tom Tower of District Number 3, I saw it. I saw what you've done. I mean, it is a wonderful thing. We are hoping that even the very lawmaker of the district, we are asking him to do the same. You know, look, where the government cannot function, you as an individual, you should be able to improvise. And that is what is very important. Now, Alexa, we're going to go. I sent you a particular post that was done by Grand Creek County District Number 2 Representative, the Honorable Councilor Jonathan Fonanti Kofa. He wrote a piece, and he has a particular agenda for the people of Liberia. And I want you, Alexa, to read it so that we have a conversation on that. Like I said, it's going to form the basis of today's presentation on all of the issues we'll be talking about. So let's go and look at the Fonanti Kofa situation. What is he saying? What does he intend to achieve? What is his overall objective? I want you to take a time to listen to Alexa as she will be reading what Councillor Kofa is projecting to the people of Liberia, what he's anticipating to submit on the floor, rather, to on behalf of the people of Liberia. So go ahead, Alexa, and read it.
Okay, so this is from Councillor J. Fonanti Kofa, and he says, on Thursday, I will present a letter on the floor calling for the creation of a USD 25 million social safety net fund dedicated to helping our vulnerable people pay school fees and rent.
Okay.
When the town is hard, the government must intervene. Even the great United States provides relief through food stamps and other social programs. We can fund this initiative by cutting our benefits, reducing foreign travels, limiting vehicle purchases, redirecting resources from LPRC, and borrowing from NASCOP. Our people are restless and crying for relief. The town is hard, and we must act now.
Okay, now listen. Alexa read it. I want to go ahead and read it again. So Fonanti Kofa is saying, on Thursday, which is day after tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and day after tomorrow is Thursday. He said, on Thursday, I will present a letter on the floor of the House of Representatives calling for the creation of a US 25 million social safety net fund dedicated to helping our vulnerable people to pay school fees and rent. When the town is hard, the government must intervene. Even the great United States of America provides relief through food stamps and other social programs. We can fund this initiative by cutting our benefits, reducing foreign travels, limiting vehicles purchases, redirecting resources from LPRC, and borrowing from NASCOP. Our people are restless and crying for relief. The town is hard, and we must act now. What do you say, Alexa? What your take on what the Grand Crew representative is proposing? What do you make of it?
Okay, so I think that's a brilliant idea. And I think it is because, desperate times call for desperate measures. And what is happening in Liberia now, I think it is really prudent enough to have our lawmakers have these conversations, because I mean some of them are not empathetic. You know what I mean? So a lot is happening in Liberia. You have citizens really struggling, and these citizens are people who employed them, because of all the different districts we have in Liberia. To go back to the different districts, whether it is in Montserrado County, it is in Margibi, it is in Grand Cru, all of them that are there, they're representing Liberians. They're the direct representation of Liberians across different districts in Liberia. So when times are hard, basically you have Liberians to blame them. And sometimes I'll be like, some of the problems we have in our country, these problems are basically, from our lawmakers, because what they're supposed to be doing, they're not focusing on that. Because the not senator, but Fonanti talked about, cutting some of, I want to be clear. Okay, he talked about cutting some of the benefits, right? And that's a good thing. Also reducing foreign travels.
Good.
Limiting vehicle purchases. Because our lawmakers, they change their cars. Every now and then they do. And it is not like 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, no. 45,000. And that's a huge amount of money. So Fonanti is being very, very sensitive to the plight of Liberians, not just people within his district in Grand Cru, but this is going across Liberia. And America, of course, they provide food stamps. That's relief for people who are suffering. So I think it is really a brilliant idea. But at the end of the day, how exactly would these guys, receive this? Because I know some of them, they're going to be like, this is not the time for it, because we're focusing on this and that. Imagine blind people. I don't like to say blind people who are visually impaired. You saw what happened earlier today. They're out there protesting. You have a lot of Liberians who are, basically going through hell, and they're going to protest, or some of them, protestations are in different fronts. Some of them are going to be on the social media just complaining about what's happening in the country. Some of them are going to call on different radio platforms to talk about these things as well. And some of them, they're going to get together as a people and just walk, and talk about these things that are happening. So if this is going to be received by the entire House of Representatives, if this is going to be received, with sensitivity, where they will have this as a serious discussion and take into consideration exactly what is happening across Liberia, how there are people who are out of school, there are children who are still selling during school hours because their parents cannot afford, they don't have money, people who are selling and now they cannot afford because there's no money in the country, and they're just there going through their own hell. If they're going to take this discussion seriously and disregard who is bringing it forward, because people always look for credit and all that, if they're going to focus on the good nature of this, proposition from Fonanti Kova, I think it is going to be a good thing for Liberians. It is going to be a good thing across the board, because it is going to help a lot of people. There are people who are out and they don't have a space, like they're going to be in the street until it is in the morning. They're young girls, they're young boys who are going to sit to some of the different entertainment centers because they don't have a space to stay. There are people who are out of school as well. They're young boys, they're young women, they're teenagers. So it goes across the board that people are going through a lot of things. So a 25 million USD, initiative is not a bad thing. But now, are they going to receive this with empathy, with sensitivity, or are they going to also politicize this? Because I'm looking beyond just this as a mere a pronouncement or mere idea. I'm sure Fonanti has thought about this, and he is proposing this as something that will help the country way beyond politics and all that. Because Oliver, there are people who will call you on a daily basis. Some of them you don't even know them. Maybe some of them just listen. Your number is for the public. So some people will just call you, hey, I'm like in need of There are also people who will call you like, I need school fees. There are people who will call you like, I need, rice to eat. I need a cup of rice. I need a bag of rice. So everybody is going through hell. I swear to God. So if the lawmakers mean business, if they really mean well for people of this country, they're going to take into consideration this thing about reducing foreign travels, cutting their benefits and all that. But we're going to watch because Fonati said on Thursday he's going to propose this, and this will be placed on the floor. So now let's see, of all the lawmakers we have, do we have some of them who are really, really sensitive enough? Do we have some of them who are just there, who just have this self-seeking nature, seeking hypocritical nature? That's where we're going to know. Because a lot of times you have them to just talk about these things, but they don't really mean well. They're just there because they need their benefits, they need their foreign travels, they need all these things, they need to get their luxurious cars and all that. Why the people who have employed them are out there just suffering, just struggling and all that, and they don't care about it. But then when it is time for people to vote again, they get to you and tell you about the rights you have as citizens of Liberia. You were there to work for people, and some of you complained that some of the reasons you take the brown envelopes and all that is because people, your citizens are always at your gate, and they're asking you for school fees, they're asking you for food, they're asking you for rental fees and all that. So this idea is quite a brilliant idea to be embraced, and I hope they're going to have a serious conversation around this. It doesn't just happen in a day. They need to talk about it. They need to talk about, the ways they're going to get these different things that are involved, the fundings and all that, how they're going to have these processes to be handled fairly, if they're going to embrace this, if they're going to receive this. But I think it is really a brilliant idea. And I'm sure this, I don't want to speak for him, but I'm sure this came from what's happening in the country, and the motivation behind this is the fact that Liberians are suffering, and they're calling everybody every now and then just to help out. And one person cannot do everything. So I hope Richard Kuhn and the rest of the guys will be able to look at this and consider this really.
Okay, so basically, that is very, very, splendid on the part of what Alexa said, and I wouldn't want to agree with any other opinion that would say this is not possible. Thankfully, she was able to clear that part of it. It is possible if only all of the other lawmakers and stakeholders will see this as a welcoming call. However, I am concerned about what may have triggered Councillor Kofa's action. Look, Alexa, when decisions are made or decisions are about to be made, there is one critical indicator that is very essential to analyzing any decision that has been made or decision that is yet to be made.
Mm-hmm.
And that critical indicator is the intent. What triggered that decision? Fonati talked about rent. And the next thing he talked about is what?
He talked about just a minute.
Rent. Did he talk about food?
He talked about food, school fees,
school fees, and that's generally welfare. Yeah. If I had the proximity, or if I was in his office as one of his staff, I would name that bill the Liberian Welfare Bill. And I'm going to say this: if I had the chance to have been in his office, I will ask him, Chief, let's name this bill the Liberian Welfare Bill. Now, the reason is very simple. The reason why he may have opted to have this thing submitted by the other tomorrow is because this man was able to read through the entire budget of our country. Mind you, this is a former speaker. And to a greater extent, he has been able to identify some of the loopholes in the budget, some of the places that are not essential to our growth as a people. Yet we keep having more appropriations done and subsequent allotments made. Now, Councillor Kofa may have realized that we are spending so much unnecessarily on things that don't matter to the welfare of the people of our country. He mentioned the issue of purchasing vehicles, right? He mentioned foreign travels. He mentioned other issues. Take, for example, we were all sitting in this country when the president of Liberia decided to take $1.3 million to buy 2 cars and 2 Land Cruiser Jeeps that will be running behind the cars to protect it. $1.23 million. Now, it may not be an initiative that will see us feeding people or creating a welfare program for those who cannot feed themselves or those who cannot afford housing. But it may go towards another initiative. So in my mind, these are loopholes that he has identified. And he believes that if we can redesign the budget of our country and re-strengthen the expenditure component of the national budget, this is going to enhance proper spending of the nation's resources. If you talk about rent, I would want to suggest affordable housing. And the good thing is he is a CDC lawmaker. When George Weah, the former president of our country, His Excellency Dr. Weah, took power, he initiated something we call pro-poor housing facilities, housing units for the poor people. Over 50 individuals at the OLF area in Sincor today can boast of something that they can call their home, better off than the zinc shacks they were living in. Over 100 families in Town can boast of the same thing. And you can spread that all across the country, in Bon County, in Nimba, in Grand Jide,
across the different political subdivisions.
I mean, Bombing, Grand Crew. There are plenty of places where you have these facilities, including Riverside County. Now, my take is the raw idea as being proposed by the lawmaker is good. We are hoping that other lawmakers would join him in providing additional information, or better so, additional ingredients to the very bill, to the very proposal, so that it will represent what would now become the Liberian welfare bill. America had the Affordable Care. The Obama Affordable Care, act, whatever the case is. You had several other laws across the world, from different countries, intended to help those who cannot afford, those who are vulnerable. And that's why Kofa mentioned, he said the vulnerable people. Now, I want that particular proposal to be amended to include several other factors, because when you talk about rent, Alexa, for example, he's proposing $25 million, and that is annually.
And that I'm not sure that that's enough to cover
people with rent issues.
Because after 6 months, after a year,
so
everybody needs it.
Sustainability will become a problem. So if I were to sit in the same room with Councillor Kofa today, even though he's my chairman on the building committee of the CDC, but when we meet, we talk CDC issues. But if I were to sit with him to discuss on what could be my possible advice to the proposed bill he's trying to submit to the plenary of the Liberian House of Representatives, Alexa, this is what I'm going to be suggesting. The first thing, and trust me, when we were campaigning in 2023 for the presidency, with President Weah, those are some of the things we were discussing behind the scene. And it's good that Councillor Kofa is now proposing similar thing. If I had the chance to have gone, I said, look, Council, what we need to do at this moment is, instead of us putting forth, $25 million for rent and other, school fees and other stuff. Okay, we say, out of the $25 million that you're proposing, let us take $15 million of the $25 million, Alexa, and put it into free, affordable housing. Okay, let me rephrase. Let's put it into free housing free housing for the citizens.
Because he talked about vulnerable people, not everybody across the board.
Good.
You have
So there will be criteria set for those who will be eligible to access those free housing facilities. Now it could be a modified approach to the George Weah's Pro housing facilities. That could be a modified approach. So what that could mean is that out of the 25 million we're discussing to provide rent, we're not going to be providing rent anymore. What we're going to do is to set aside $25 million. We either channel it through list, or we set up a special team, or maybe through the Liberian Housing Authority, the National Housing Authority. We channel it through list or the National Housing Authority. Out of the 25 million he's proposing, we can set forth between $15 to $17 million. That will go towards the construction of poor housing facilities for the most vulnerable amongst our people. In Burkina Faso, it is going lower scale. Do we have the potential to do it?
Of course.
From a bigger perspective? I agree. Now, what that's going to do is also going to beautify and transform most of our slum communities into urban environments, and it will beautify the landscape of our capital and other big cities across the country. How do we do it? Look at West Point, for example, Alexa. That is a beautiful peninsula. What do we do? Go to West Point, do a pilot. From the Echo Bank area, you look at the places, you say, look, all the houses were here. You look at the houses, you survey them, do a landscape something, and say, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 10 houses, all of you come, let's go pay your rent to Stephen Tubber for 1 year. Or let's go pay your rent to Matadi for 1 year. You rent, if you find about 10 houses, you find 10 houses that will fit in a particular space, you go somewhere, you rent 10 extra houses and put the people there 1 year. At the end of the day, you build storage facilities. That $15 million per year, you could build about 5 structures in West Point. 5 big structures that will be apartment buildings. 2-room apartment, 2-room apartment, 2-room apartment, 3-room apartment, and, with all of the bathroom facilities in it. 1-story building could house about 13 families. Meaning if you have 13 apartments in it, each of the apartment containing two bedrooms, all in suite. So a space that 2-3 Zinran will be occupying in West Point, you could have one big gigantic story building going there. Instead of one family occupying that space where 2-3 Zinran sitting, you will have almost 20 different family members having access. That's a government building. That is a government building. And a system will be arranged in such a way that people who are going to be inhabitants of that structure will be people who are vulnerable, people who will fall in the vulnerable class of the society.
People who cannot afford. You're not going to get someone who can afford.
You work in Ministry of Finance and you come to the place, we'll put you aside, go pay rent.
You get less privileged.
You know what? You work in Ministry of Finance, go pay rent.
You're working, you're earning money, so obviously you should be able.
You're working with any other NGO, go pay rent. And you're working with mining company, go pay rent. Logging company. Those whose salary fall below the minimum wage bill or at the minimum wage bill level. I mean, they may make you $125. They copy along with children's food money and everything. If you need taking it,
and even a private security guard.
Yeah,
$75, $50.
So those who fall below the minimum wage bill and at an equilibrium with the minimum wage bill, they fall in a category. They fall under the vulnerable, spectrum of the Liberian society. Now, when this is done, not only are you going to be alleviating the pressure of the vulnerable society, but you're also going to be beautifying the landscape of the country with the construction of those facilities. For example, let's look at Buzi Quarter. Look, that's how when you go to Buzi Quarter, you can check about 50 different houses in Buzi Quarter. All of those houses that, you're sorry, my Buzi Quarter people, but those are houses that are not supposed to be in Central Monrovia, especially places where you can just stay and turn rack to the mansion, it will hit the mansion. You can be the Buzi Quarter, you turn rack, it will touch your executive mansion. I mean, I'm being honest with you. So places like Buzi Quarter, you go to Buzi Quarter, relocate the people, pay them for their land. That's what we're saying, $15 million per year, right? So when you have a $15 million project,
Buzi Quarter can host about, Buzi Quarter alone can host about, tactically it can host about 20 structures of multiple stories. So let's assume the government will decide to build about 5-story building per unit. Buzi Quarter can take about 20. So this year we allot $15 million to do Buzi Quarter. In the $15 million, we'll be buying all the other people who squatting on the land in Buzi Quarter. We'll get the money to go and pay the rent and resettle them to build that whole area, build 20 units. 20 units, Alexa, all the people who are living in Buzi Quarter, they will find places in 20 units, and there will be additional spaces for other people from different communities to go and be. So what will happen is in year 2025, by a New Year Eve, the president will go to the place and cut the ribbons. New family will move into Buzi Quarter. Two things will happen. The airspace, the landscape of Buzi Quarter will change. It will turn to a city. The Zinsha will disappear. The Soliwe, gutter, and Pupu water, all that thing, it will lost because when you're building those kind of decent structures, there will be all of these environmental issues done, everything in that 15. So after that year, after 2025, Buzi Quarter is transformed. Plenty of people who are renting in small machine around there and other thing there, they have already gotten somewhere decent to stay. You settle the vulnerable people problem. Now you take extra 2-3 years, you go to West Point, you say, look, West Point, you don't have to look the day anymore. Let's transform you into another decent area. Go to West Point, you post in enough facility. Go to Docomere, you do the same thing. You go to Clarendon, other places. Before you know it, almost every government that will come to power will be transforming every single slum facilities. This will also tie into Councillor Kofa's original idea, because his intent is to ensure that Liberians who are vulnerable will be alleviated from the burden of paying their rent when they do not have anything. So the way you make it better off, instead of government paying rent every year, government push that $15 million into affordable, not affordable housing, but free housing, for the population. And over a period of 5-6 years, story buildings. 50 different 5 to 6 story buildings, Alexa, that plenty of human beings can live in those story buildings.
Because there are some people who are in like one room, a whole family.
Yeah.
A room, and you have a little living room.
Yeah.
And that is happening right here in Monroe.
Some family in one room.
And
the children can sleep in the living
room. You have
room.
Mother, you have the father, you have children.
Mm-hmm. So
they're all in just a room.
So when you build a whole hostel building, for example, the building we are in, Alexa, I mean, the building is about five different floors.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
The 5 floors where we are,
like
that 2-bedroom apartment on the side, you gotta have another 2-bedroom apartment on that side. So every floor got 2 apartments. Each of the apartment got 2 bedrooms. So when you have a single structure where about 6 stories, you got 2 downstairs that were at 12. So you got 12 families, 12 vulnerable families will be moving in 2-bedroom apartment each. 12 vulnerable families in West Point that almost 1 acre they're occupying.
Imagine.
Almost 1 acre or 2 acres, 12 families occupying almost 4 acres of land in West Point, for example. But in this situation, that just one lot, that 1-story building is going to be, standing on.
Just going.
So you're gonna make use of the airspace. At the same time, you're gonna be beautifying that particular environment and providing leverage for the vulnerable people to live in free housing. Because why? The country is able to do
gradual process.
You're not doing it one time.
We're not saying you're going to start
everywhere.
And no. You do it one step at a time.
Since JFK is proposing $25 million, we are saying, look, say you got other issues to do with school and other issues. So $25 million, we will allot 15 to the rent issue. But instead of giving rent to people, we're not getting rent. We build proper housing units. Propo is not related to CDC. So you don't think when they say Propo, it means a CDC.
In fact, we're just using that because that was an idea by George Weah, and he already started the project.
Good.
So that's the best way to have a relatable conversation.
So
this.
when you take $15 million and pump it into a Propo initiative, meaning for the poor, the meaning of Propo is for the poor. So those of you who hate the CDC so much that anything related to CDC, you want to make argument with it, that will provide the clarity. Propo means for the poor. Pro, it means for. So when you say pro Baka, it means for Baka. Pro Mandre, it means for Mandre.
pro man you, it mean for man you.
Pro government.
Pro government, it mean you for the government. And you know, pro woman, it mean you for woman. Pro anything, it mean you for that thing. So don't even be arguing when we say pro poor, then you say, oh, that's easy, we're talking. Pro poor, it mean for the poor. So when you have $15 million for this budget year, and you pump that $15 million into free housing for the people, $15 million, Alexa, if people ain't want steal, and let me be practical about the conversation. If people don't want steal, $1 million can build you, it can build for you a 6-story building that will be having about 2 apartments on each floor.
Because this is something that's very simple. You don't need to put all the the most expensive materials.
No, you don't need to. And beyond that, the government is not going to be purchasing sand. The government is not going to be purchasing rock. In most of the instances, the government will just be transporting the materials. Look, the National Housing Authority can underwrite can be the implementing partner. You can also use LACE to be the implementing partner. Whatever the case is, $1 million can construct one of these big structures that will have about between 6 to 7 stories, and each of the floor having 2 separate apartments. That's a whole initiative that can provide housing for the poor people in the country. It's a beautiful, beautiful idea by Councilor Kofa. If I were to meet him between now to Thursday, I would tell him you got to transition. I mean, you got to modify your proposal to ensure that it will include providing poor housing for the people instead of the rent, because the rent is not going to be sustainable.
And no, I'm sure that's why he is taking this on the floor, because it opens the corridor for people to discuss and just interject their own points.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I mean, the easier way is when it is being proposed, the draft that he's going to be submitting, when it is coming from this angle, it makes it easier for others to to just run through it and say, look, okay, the thing we're thinking about, you already got it in it. Let's just punch it. Because if we pay the rent today, the next year, maybe government may not have money to pay that rent anymore, right? But if government
has competing priorities.
Thank you, Alexa. That's beautiful. So when you have $50 million for this year, $1 million can build one big structure. People can just won't be stealing, and the reason why they can, Alexa, the reason why they can just be spending unnecessary money all day, that's just for stealing money. But $1 million can build you a story building with between 5 to 6 stores. I mean, 5 to 6 stories, 5 to 6 floors, up to 7. $1 million can do that, and each of the floors will have about 2 separate 2-bedroom apartments. So each floor will be having 2 families on it. You build the facilities, and that will enhance his original idea of providing access to homes for the poor people. The rest of the $10 million, it could go towards student loan. It could go towards student loan. Students should apply for it. There are other ways you can find it. But I believe this is a very beautiful idea, and I am hoping that lawmakers will join what Councilor Kofa is proposing. When it is submitted on the floor, I just hope Speaker Richard Kuhn will not see it from a political party perspective. I just hope you will not see it from there. When we were contesting in 2023, when the election was on, we had a whole conversation on Medicare. We had a whole conversation on Medicare. The idea was to ensure that every single Liberian citizen who was under 5 years of age will receive free medical care across all of the government health facilities. Additionally, every single Liberian citizen who is above 60 years of age at all of the government facilities. This is not, how you call this thing, expensive for the country. When you read the budget, you got plenty of loopholes. We're spending unnecessary money that going into the pockets of people who are just smoking cigar and getting girlfriends and doing all kind of stuff, and the rest of the people continue to suffer. We can look at the budget, scrutinize it properly, and get some real resources to do what we want to do as a country. Those are things we were thinking about when we were campaigning for the re-election. Those are things we were having conversations on. ensuring that people under 5-10 years will have not affordable, but will have access to free medication from the government perspective. There are ways you can support it. The same way Georgia made public universities and other community colleges free of tuition, that's how we were thinking about. We can run a welfare state. If we only look in the budget and cut down waste, why you think, President, we have got all of the money to pay people's school fee at the University of Liberia and continue to pay WAS fees all through his 6 years? Where you think he got the money from? From his pocket? No. From the same government. From the same government. The Ministry of Finance and the economic management team managed to have gotten, a hold of the entire budget. They identified some of the loopholes. They cut them down just for the citizens to have some welfare. And for him, he was successful enough to have done the educational welfare. You didn't have to become a CDC man to benefit from free tuition at the University of Liberia. There are United Party people who went to school at the UL all through Georgia presidency, and they graduated from UL without paying one single tuition. And they graduated. Nobody told them, say, because you're supporting UP, so you will pay school fee to UL. Once you are a Liberian student at the University of Liberia, you were eligible to benefit from the free tuition. That's the welfare system. And it's good that Fonati Kofa is thinking about continuing on that path. A government that wants the people to survive will be thinking innovatively. The country is rich. All the things we say, in Libya, at the time Gaddafi was living in Libya, when you say in Libya, they were giving you compensation. These things are possible in Liberia. They are possible. If we can look at the budget and scrutinize the budget thoroughly and make room for these provisions, look, we have 5.23 million people in this country. We're not plenty. If we are smart, we can pay every single citizen in the country using our resources. The last time I was in Riverside County, you'll be surprised to know, on the sidewalk in Riverside, pineapple just growing all over. Pineapple growing all over. Liberia alone can supply the world with pineapple. Liberia alone can supply the world with pineapple. Think about how much billions of dollars will come through the pineapple trade. Okay, I'm not talking about aid. Cassava is making huge, exploits in China. Cassava can grow everywhere in Monrovia. Dig the quota on Broad Street. I'm saying to you, dig the quota on Broad Street. Remove the quota from on Broad Street. Remove piece of the quota on Broad Street. Dig the ground, pour water there, put cassava stake there. In 6 months time, when you don't see cassava under the ground, change my name. That's how fertile this country is. It only requires people to think. It only requires decent people to be around the leaders. When people who are around the leaders do not have the capacity to think beyond their pockets, beyond their neck club, so with this proposal about Councilor Kofa, if the whole country can rally around it, we could start to ease the tension on the citizens. People are suffering, and that's why he said, and I'm gonna overly emphasize on it. Councilor Kofa said the town is difficult. The town is hard. Things are difficult. You know how many people be suffering with rent in this country? As we speak, other people's rent already expired. The men thinking about how to get rest. If you get rest, and thinking about how to get oil. If you get oil, and thinking about how to get coal. If you get coal, you thinking about momoe and pepper and vita. When will he get rent to pay? When the country is arranged in such a way that there are free housing facilities for people, if you are working and you out of job, you can apply to the government welfare system. If there are apartments vacant, the government can put you there. The good thing about it is that when government got over 50 or 60 of those apartment structures all across the country, so it's an all-step building. You know what will happen? There's some people who will be living in the all-step building. At a certain point in time, when God bless them, and the guys who are gonna job somewhere, the next thing they'll do is say, look, I already got a job now. I want to live in a place where plenty of people are in the building. I want to go somewhere private where I'll get my own fence. By the time that man leaves, that apartment becomes vacant. So if there are other Liberians who already had their application with the government for free housing, once the place vacant, the government will call the other people and do interview. Mama, why should we give you the place? Oh, let me hear my children here. I ain't got no work. Come and do investigation. They don't say, oh, for you, they may not get no work. And they may get plenty of children who want this and that. The government put in there. And that's how you cater to the welfare of the people. The money there. The president alone took out $10 million and go bail one company for ya. 10 million. So we just need 5 million to bail about 15 of the Ulster building there where people will just be living in free. That's under the welfare system. Under the welfare system of the country. The country is rich. The country should be able to take care of some of the responsibility of the people. So the decision by Councillor Kofa is very essential, very, very important. It's good. I support it. But I'm only proposing that amendment to be made. Instead of us putting 50 million in the budget to be paying people rent every year, it is susceptible to corruption. You put 50 million in the budget every year for to be paying people rent. Some 40 million will just go sit down one place and start giving their girlfriend their money to be paid on the guys are paying rent when you will not go to the real people. But what do? You find land. For example, you go to Busi Quarter, out of the 15 million, take 2 million. Take 2 million from that 15 million. You buy all the land in Busi Quarter. 2 million, you can buy all the land in Busi Quarter, pay the people off. So man, you go. You'll find places to rent in 2 years' time. In 2 years' time, all of you are moving from here. In 2 years' time, you have privilege to occupy some of the structures we'll be building. Free. You have the privilege. And what will happen is that in 2 years' time, Busi Quarter will transform. So by the time you go into the Busi Quarter now, you see the BB Ulster building all up. Like the one in the building in Burkina Faso, the one in the building in Nigeria, in Ghana. You see the big story building. One building, it got almost 9 floor, 10 floor, 13 floor. Each of the floors get almost two different apartments or 3 different apartments on the floors, depending on the architectural design of the structure. That's how countries develop. In 5 years' time, when you come to Montreal, you'll not believe it again. So the person why you to get Zinra, that's no Ulster building there in it. The same people who are living in the Zinra, the same people will be in the Ulster building structures. But the good thing is, the environment will become refined. They will have decency. The possibility of being sick will be reduced because the environment will now become transformed, and they will not be running around to pay rent anymore because it is now free. Trust me, when it's free, people will not want to live there forever. Yeah, I know from the beginning people will want to go there because they get F4. But certain time man can really in your life when you start getting money, you start getting sponsored job, he not want to be to where planet people at. He want own something for himself because he knows that government hall in. You can be in government hall all day where the rest of your life where you volunteering, you will not be happy about it. So you want to make improvement. So anytime you reach that level where you get your own house somewhere, where you build your own house somewhere, as soon as you leave, the next poor man can enter there. That's a beautiful bill by the councillor. Yeah. That's a beautiful bill by the councillor. It's a beautiful decision. It's going to be for low-income earners. So by the time you don't say your salary is getting big now, you can move to your own big piece of land where you get. You finish paying your house, you move there, you empty the government apartment. The new poor man who not get apartment to be in, they may move in the place. It's a wonderful thing. But Councillor Kofa, I would not want to be done to, through rent. No, don't do it through rent. Redesign your bill and let it reflect free housing facility for the most vulnerable of the population. This way, it's going to be more impactful. It's going to be less susceptible to corruption, and we'll be beautifying our slum communities. We'll be transforming them into suburban terrains, and that's going to enhance the beautification of our capital. We can do that in Slabway. Oh yes, we can do that in Slabway. We go to Slabway and move all those in around and where they put all their separating pipe in the Do River. Most of the houses in Slabway, the pipe entering Do River, they don't get separating. The pipe entering in Do River. So instead of all taking by in Do River and putting boat on it and be riding, enjoying ourselves, that's also separating pipe entering in Do River. They put Florida Cambo to Slabway, entering in Do River. The Florida Cambo in Vartan, Cloudtown, DC, and other places, Jamaica Road, everything entering the Do River. No. With this in mind, that Councillor Kofa is proposing, you will now transform these communities into real environments. So government will not just see the people lay. If government decides to say, okay, this year the $50 million we put in Slabway, the portion of the place in Slabway government want to use, government will pay everybody off. They move from there. Then government mark the name down. So even though we're paying you off, so that you go and find somewhere to live, but when we finish with the estate, the government estate will be paying, will pull you on step, will pull you on step, you will pull you to the other on step building, you will pull you to the other on step building, and you'll be there until you can find something for yourself. That's how it is. So the next thing you'll see is that anytime you're on the bridge now, when you're going, instead of you seeing the zero and all those slavery, you start seeing big, gigantic structures. That's how countries are built and developed. May God bless who gave Councilor Kofa that idea. And we are also hoping that our amendment to his idea will be considered and that will be submitted on the floor. And we are begging the lawmakers, please, don't push against it. We get plenty of money in the country that we can fund it. We can provide the money to support it. We can provide the resources to support it. So I ain't going to say more on this particular issue, but like I said, this is a very, very essential proposal, and I'm hoping that it will be submitted for the sole purpose of alleviating the tension the Liberian people are going through. I'm not surprised that this decision is coming up from Councilor Kofa, a CDC lawmaker. The CDC is the only government, the only political institution that is noted for being people sensitive. The country been running from the day Charlie Kintan, Joseph Jikin Robert time. No government ever thought it wise to make the University of Liberia free. To make public university free. It took the CDC administration to do that. There are people who did not graduate from UL because they could not afford tuition. Today, someone tell the women that because they could not afford tuition, not because they didn't want to go to school, but because they could not afford the tuition. Some people who are university dropouts. And some of them are old enough to go back to school. They were very, very, very because they were craving those opportunities in the 80s, in the 60s, in the whatever time, but those opportunities did not come their way. And so we're not surprised that such a welfare ideology is coming up from another CDC lawmaker. Being political about it? No. I'm going to make a reference. Can other lawmakers and other Liberians rally around it? Yes, because you know why? When those structures are built, the government will not ask you which party you're from before they get you room if you do not have money, you know, to rent for yourself. And that's how decent it's going to be. Go and research the internet. Burkina Faso is doing it. Burkina Faso is doing it. Burkina Faso is doing it. But at the end of the day, look, even if it is going to be an affordable facility, 2-bedroom apartment in Monrovia, and you tell the person, look, your 2-bedroom apartment, you got to pay $20 per month. At the end of the year, you pay $240 in Monrovia, they will pay affordable. That will contribute towards painting the building every year. So you get about 20 apartments in the structure, paying $240 every year to the government. Government can come out, GSA can come and pay all the places, and the money go to GSA, and government complement. But whatever the case is, the government is good enough. The country is rich enough, and that's why we are complaining. That's why every time we are criticizing the UP government for giving all our concession out cheaply. You took all the concession companies and gave it all the concessions we have, right? You took all of our natural resources and gave them the concession companies that are now worth it. When you have a country where the concessions are really, 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 really productive and contributing to the citizens, these things are easily done. I'm hoping that Councilor Kofa will receive the blessings of his colleagues beyond political alignment for this thing to go through. If it doesn't happen, well, we will hope 2029 or 2030. We'll hope that 2029 or 2030, when the CDC government is back to power, you know, we will push that angle from we will push the kind of conversation from the angle of the president. We'll reach the president. We are entirely look, president. We are. You started a proper housing, you know, initiative, but we want to take it to another level. We want to take it to another level. You know, we want to take it to another level. We'll be putting it forth.
So if he doesn't get the support of his people under this administration, we will hope that if President Weah returns to the mansion, we'll push that conversation so that these things will start to happen. Because at the end of the day, our people who live in Monrovia should live in a condition that will represent being in Monrovia. So now you in Monrovia, somebody can visit you from where Plibo or where River G. They kind of see the kind of how you in. They say, but it was better you remain in Hapo, or it was better you remain in Vonjimao. You can hear that thing before. Those of you who listen to the radio, you never hear it before. Like you're ready to or give me better. You just being in you one time because yeah, make it about it will be better you remain in Kemau. It's going to be better you remain in Rawasport. It's going to be better you remain in Vonjima than you can be in Jesus factory in the Kanazira. Don't you hear these things? It's because we have not had the opportunity to have the government. Look, William Ara Tobert started through the steering tower estate and the different estates. The different estates, government estates. Now, say we are no longer in the Tobert era, we can now transform it in a way that it will represent urban. It's going to have the urbanization plan. And so it is a good thing that Kofa is suggesting, and we are hoping that Liberians all across this country will support it. That's it. Now, number two, before Alessa come in, and by the way, we can go to the course. I'm sure she's taking care of something very technical outside there. The next thing is, look, Austin Kawa will talk about this issue on his show this evening. But we are being told that Madam Priscilla Cooper case has been dropped. You remember all the people who they say burn the Capitol building? Priscilla Cooper or part of them. The same people who they say burn Capitol building, all of them stay in court, but the government dropped Priscilla Cooper case. That in itself is injustice. You call plenty of lawmakers, and out of all of the lawmakers who you call, you selected 5 of them. You said they don't want to burn the building. After selecting the 5 of them, you took out one more person from there. You say, we not get nothing on you again. They didn't go to court. They didn't do anything. You charged them or you indicted them. You arrested them. When you are freeing her, you are sending the other people to jail. At the end of the day, we are getting information that charges were dropped against Priscilla Cooper. Austin will continue with this conversation sufficiently today. Hopefully, in the coming days, we'll have our own say on it. But these are terrible practices that this government is carrying on. The judiciary will be up against, or whatever they'll be involved with. We don't want to have these things popping up, because it doesn't make sense that you will indict 5 individuals, 4 of them going through litigational process, and you are dropping charges against the other one who did not even step foot in court. How are you doing that? How are you doing it? But like I said, these are issues that we are having conversation on. Hopefully, Austin will expand more on that conversation tonight. So you want to listen to Freedom Hard Talk tonight, where Austin Kawa will give sufficient information on it. But before we go to the lines very shortly, there is this debate on social media where, the party people say, former president, we are not strong. They say he's sick. Then, President, we are one of the people then say, well, you say, President, we are sick. You're bring President back at the SKD tomorrow. Let him, President, we are go do running race and see who's stronger and who do this and that. Look, I don't want to get involved with these conversations.
Yeah, because that's unnecessary.
But here is what I want to say, and let it be very clear. We should be focused more on what this Unity Party government got to offer the Liberian people, and we should not be carried away by their distraction. How will you look at George Weah, who on October 1 on his birthday? In the morning, he play football. In the afternoon hour, he'll playing basketball.
And in the evening, while people are drinking liquor, eating food, and drinking wine, water, everything, he was playing table tennis. One man, one day, from in the morning to in the evening, football, basketball, table tennis. On a birthday eve, the man was in the gym. That dancing video came out again. Everybody, oh, they remember, you know how to issue, you know how to enjoy it. Today is October 21st. Every single day, he's in the gym. Even last night, I mean, this morning, Carrasco and he were in the gym. They did one video where he was doing push-up, up and down. Why would people from the government want to cook a particular story about the man not being healthy and this, when the man all by himself decided to run through an exercise movement? The man is no longer president. And he said, he will turn big. Like some kind of elephant where he will not be able to control himself. It will not be healthy for him. So while he is resting, he doesn't have pressure on him. He decided to put a lot of time in exercising. And when you're exercising sufficiently, your body will drop. And you got people making use out of it. You stop it. Focus on the country. And then when you decide to say, we are not exercising. I'll be sitting there eating my fruits, drinking juices, and eating my palm butter from Grand Cru and everything. That y'all be complaining that we are getting fat over plus. We got plenty of things in the country you're to solve. You people say auditors die in the country. Up to now, you ain't even able to arrest one person who you say care the auditor. But during the election, you were naming people who you say care auditors in the country. Today, you can't arrest them and then prosecute them. Plenty of lies you told. I mean, you said people stole 25 million, 16 billion in this country. 2 years now, you can't arrest 16 billion people. But the people who you say still arrest, you're arresting. Now, and that's how you know people who stole 16 billion. And you know people who stole rest. They get you police, go arrest the first criminal. That the people who stole rest, you go arrest. You got you said too many things in the campaign that you're supposed to be focused on. You live in there and you go into somebody who decide personally to train their body to a particular thing they want. You must say who control our body. Oh, the man said he went to rally. You think President Weah is that naive that you know that he's not well and allow people to go put in the hot sun and to go to that kind of rally? You think he will want to do that? You think he want to go be training every day? You think he want to be playing football and basketball in a single day? You got a whole country to run. Stop being trivial. And I want some President Weah to escalate 2 minute run from the upper to the down pole. Let's see what will happen. Let 2 minute jump from upper to down pole. Security will be there. Nobody will touch you. Security will be there. 2 minute jump from upper to down pole. President Weah wear green jersey. President Weah wear blue jersey. And then run from the upper to the down pole 2 times. And see what kind of news will be in the country. Just stop it. It ain't necessary. It is not. You have a whole country to run. Run the country. Run it. They see what President Weah didn't want. The man went on KSU. The man go play football on the quota when you're in power. When you know President Weah, you will know that every year he can go through a personal physical training. When he became president in 2018, all of you who know very well, go back to the videos and go watch it. When he became president in 2018, the first 4 months, President Weah are almost looking at, I will call it Elisa. So when the old man got B stomach, B butt, B body, how you looking? You can see President Weah walking. You know, he's a people and walking with stomach way in front, putting the ball behind. So many days, man, you got to train you. No, man, you got to train. You got to reduce your body small. In 2018, he reduced himself. He went back to the gym and he became his normal self. That's how to make it look. After a few months, the man will go through training, reduce the body, then pick up again. How he looking? You go look at that thing. You can't be posting all kind of post picture around. You're doing all type of thing. You got whole country to run. You can't focus on it. Go look at 2018 videos when he became president. By the time I was to Hall of Fame, my man Welcome Duncan. I mean, we had a conversation on the same topic before we were to Hall of Fame. That's how Welcome said the dietitians in the president's office should look at his food. I'm not saying different person. I'm saying Welcome Duncan. You can contact him today. When we had a conversation, it was his particular contribution to that show. He said, If I had a chance to speak to the president, the dietitians are people who can decide what kind of food the president chef will cook, will prepare. That specific job there. You look at the man, like you look at me, okay, the way I'm looking at it, you look at me and say, look, the man's stomach, you're looking at frog. He will not be eating beans in the there. He will not be eating the one. So the dietitian can look at it and say, look, between now to 3 months, you'll not eat red meat in the house anymore. Because we want to control your cholesterol. We want to control it. We want to control the amount of red meat you eat. You'll not be able to swallow dumbo. You'll not be able to eat cassava because we want to control your carbohydrates. So we restrain you. We keep you on fruits, vegetables, because we don't want you to grow over the fat. Your blood will be plenty. You tend to fufu yet. It'll make you all sooner. It'll make you do that one. It'll weaken your energy. Your dietitians control what you do. So when the man go into a training, he bought us out of job. Then you wake up in the morning, you come out, he start talking all the way. Oh, the man what? The man do that one. The man do that one. Come on, stop it. We get you whole country to run the country. Run the country. Run it. Run it. Let Ministry of Finance here telling people, say, our heart. Ottawa pay, when I can sooner. Maybe in the first or second month, second week in November, before the pay will start coming. Focus on that one. But if you still want to focus on the fitness and sickness thing, then bring President Baga to SKD tomorrow. Let him, President, we have to do running race from the upper to the downpour. Simple. Simple. Bring President Baga to SKD tomorrow. Let him, President, we have to do running race from the upper to the downpour, from the EIW pole to the Chinese club pole. Let him do it 2 times. Then everybody will go for the president, CZ go for the president. Let's see who will go for the president with car. And let's see who will go for the president, we're walking. Just stop it. Stop what you're doing in the country. Focus on what you have to do. You have a whole country to run it. And that's all we can say here quickly. I mean, we got calls to go to. Alexa, if you got 1, 2, 3 minutes, to wrap up, because we have to go and take direct calls. But keep playing the cash giveaway on *255 *1#. Go ahead, Alexa. Let's go.
So I think all I'm going to say, because you say a lot, and they were very brilliant, by the way. And I'm sure what you just said is now resonating with a lot of people. But I'm just going to say, do not be swayed from the real issues in the country, because oftentimes these folks will use, some of the things that are not relevant to cover up some of the bad things that are happening in Liberia. And yesterday we read a part of, a report from the US. And as I was walking in, Oliver was talking about of the representatives, arrested or charged. Priscilla Cooper was not included. And there's a part in that particular report that talks about the interference of the executive, because they talked about how independent the judiciary is. And it should stay that way, but there are different reports that, of course, you have different interferences from the executive, and it should not be that way. So I think the question is really relevant. And as he said, Austin is going to talk more about that issue tonight on Freedom Heart Talk. But the issue about President Wade, I think that's irrelevant. These people are trying to sway, seditions and also well-meaning Liberians' attention from the real issues in the country, because a lot is happening. People are talking about the report, and people are also talking about different issues in the country, bread and butter issue. So people should focus on this country more. Continue to question the government, continue to keep the government's feet to the fire. That's exactly what they're trying to avoid. So they want to get your attention of these, major discussions, and for you not to be asking the relevant questions and to be really concerned about these things that are happening. So they're going to start that conversation, because automatically when you're going to mention George Weah's name, you're going to have a lot of people to want to talk about it. You're going to have a lot of people to want to just be concerned about it. So the social media now, everybody is just talking back to back. Really needed at this point. Let's talk about the Iboma, deal that is being back, in the spotlight, as reported by one of the senators. Let's talk about that now. Let's also talk about this report, this climate report, that everyone is basically trying to understand, because it is a very long report, and there are people who are trying to just summarize the entire report for Liberians to understand what was happening actually. So let's focus on that more. And we should not allow anybody to just get our attention of what's happening. Kofa just proposed an amazing idea on his page that will be proposed on floor Thursday. We should also be talking about that. And Oliver put that rightly, that of course we need this to be modified because it goes beyond just politics. This is about Liberians, and Liberians will be able to benefit from this as a, how did you call it, like the welfare bill, right? So that's something that everyone should talk about, and everyone should definitely try to look forward to what's going to happen on Thursday, because this is an amazing idea. There are people who are going to politicize, and obviously they're insensitive. Maybe they're not sensible enough to understand exactly the motivation behind this. But we should also be talking about this and elevating this as a very, very brilliant proposer. We should also talk about the reports and how this government is going to handle it. We should also be asking the government through the Ministry of Finance, why should civil servants, be waiting until November or the first week in November to have their salaries to be paid? Why do we have salaries to be delayed when they have promised that this was not going to happen? These are issues that we should be focused on. These are concerns that we should talk about and elevate more. Because to talk about George Weah's weight is crazy. If you know George Weah, you know who he is. As a physically fake person, as a person who is strong-willed, you know who he is. So to go back and forth and start to debate about how strong he is, how well he is, I mean, no, that doesn't make sense, because you talk about it or not, George Weah is who he is. You know how vibrant, how strong, and how he's very active. So we don't need to be talking about this back and forth, even though there are times we're going to the rescue mission, and we still need to focus on asking the hard questions, the real questions, and they need to be able to address these different issues 100%. Because if we're giving into these things they're talking about, I mean, we're not going anywhere, because you have a whole ministry to take a day, 1, 2, 3 hours just to talk about former president's weight. It means the country not serious. So we're serious people. So we need to discuss serious things. We need to make sure the government understands how serious we are as citizens of this country. The platforms we run, these are not, platforms for comedy shows. No, they're serious platforms where we call the government out, where we point out issues that are to be handled, and people who are proposing good ideas. Lefonati Kova, we should be able to talk about these things. Okay, so George Weah is who he is, and you cannot take that away from him. George Weah can run from here and go ELWA or wherever he wants to run to. He knows how to do it. He has that. Okay, so let's keep discussing these different issues. I'm sure all of you out there will want to call and just talk to us about these different issues we've talked about. So I guess the lines will be open the next few minutes.
Okay, so that's exactly what it is. So call us on 086 500 1040, 086 500 1040, 0776 104 104 are odd numbers to join the conversation. My name is Kine. Alexa is here. Dial *255*1# to play, and if you are lucky, you win for yourself $5,000. Let's go and see if there are people who have already won. If we do, we will call them and give them their money. If not, we keep asking you to continue to play, because the more you play, the better your chances are to win. Let's take a break to be right back on 87.9.
Before them before, Come stop all Liberia. From the center to interior, they keep it us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. The people bringing safety to your door. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Come stop all Liberia. From the center to interior, they keep it us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. If you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, old man Sam Sion.
Okay, Crime Stoppers, the people bringing safety to your community. Any of the topics we talk about, you can call us and make your input here on 87.9. Please do that in 1 minute. Let's go and begin with the first batch of calls. This person, good evening. Let's hear you. How are you? How you doing?
Good evening, Mr. Odubaka and Alexa Venjakoy. Advocate, I love you. You are a brilliant journalist. You are campaigning for people, black journalists in the country. But I do this something and Jerry Young, Alex.
Go ahead, Jerry.
It is saying that people should stop wasting time discussing about this is good because people start on that video and
Can you change your location? Your line is breaking.
Okay, let me change. You get me now?
I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying if you are saying that people should stop taking time to discuss the weight loss of President Weah, then I would disagree with you. In the sense that there was a time that you and Alexa Venture colleague took the whole day and here discuss President Waka. People should thought it was unnecessary.
But hold on. President Baga went to T-Max Gilada show and told T-Max and the rest of the world that he had just got done from doing his pacemaker, his heart surgery. That was not a secret. He made it public and it became a public information. There is no hold on, there is no record to show President we are saying he is sick.
Yeah, but all for me, I love your show, right? I love
hold on. It's not about you loving what I do or not. It's about the facts. You just raised an issue, and I told you from whence we decided to have a conversation. On this one, President Weah is on his Facebook page every day telling you that he wakes up in the morning, he goes to the gym, he gets his breakfast, he's having meeting, he's training by himself.
Besides, we did not say stop discussing George Weah's weight. So maybe you are discussing something else.
Okay. So continue talking about President Weah weight loss. Continue talking about it. Okay, let's talk to the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How are you? How you doing? Hello. Okay. I think he left. Let's talk to the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, KOK and Alexa. My name is Peter Sparkley. I do Georgie from Tubero.
2 minute issues.
Yeah, my point about George, where the government are focused more on the personal life of President George Barnett. We are the government. He didn't have serious people like this in the government. The report you have to know with the U.S. State Department. The State Department report. They are not focusing on it. They are focusing on George Barnett. We are personal life. That's why they are destroying a lot of things around here. That's why George, we are fair. We are better than United Party people are destroyed. They are here to destroy our life. They destroy our country and life. So we got to be serious around here. We're not going to get rescue partner and do something to put a phone door and go free. We got to focus on that and forget about George Barnett. We are taking
Thank you very much. We leave you right there from the COFAS proposal to the other issue. Let's hear you. Go ahead. Let's hear you. 1 minute.
Yes. Hello,
how are you?
Good. Thank you. Hello to Elisa. Instrument Union, I remain important also in adjoining for District 2 Mosrado County for the community where Noah's are giving loud to the people. Let me say thank the opportunity again. You know, these people, they are promoting the CDC and pretending that
Your line is breaking. Your line is terrible. I hope you will call us back. Let's talk to the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How are you? How are you doing?
Good evening, President.
Good evening. No time. Let's hear you quickly.
As it was joining from the community, first because son of KOK, I want to say thank you to you for the conversation. Like you said, the person who gave him that advice, the right thing, but just like it doesn't be more modified and in a position that tomorrow if the government leaves and less government time will not be in a position to pay some of these rent. So it should be done like building a housing unit that the city government be in the proper setting. And the issue of comparing health condition of the current president and the present president, I think these are things should not be compared because these two guys are not in the age range. Former president, as we all know, he is physically fit right now, so it's not discussed. We don't want to go back to this issue.
speaking about the president being ill or his old age. These are things that come with old age. So if anybody guys didn't look over and focus on the country, we give you a country to run the country and forget about.
Okay.
I listen to the Ministry of Information Plus using every minister's man, the podium, try to send charge, give them to the license should be happening in our country. Focus on the country, we give you a country to run. On our country, turn them around. 11 people choose you, it will be done. 11 people does not choose you. You think our country is very peaceful.
Okay, we'll leave you right there. We'll talk to the other person. Go ahead, man. Sisi, let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, I think okay.
We're good.
And we say hi to Alexa. Hello. So it will make you we compare right? That it made discuss that we are issues there. So I want to ask you, during the local operation, who are falling on a 50? President, we are. They play you went to that place, you say, oh, I'll give you a point, power with me, when you call you up, your 50, that we are 50 there. And to the people, you say you're Raul Barrow, to the right in the local, that we are saying. And we're talking about 7 people, but we're taking a push every day. You can't compare with that, you say, Waka. Waka said, oh, man, we told him we have a Waka, oh, and he was saying, we told you, when they make it a pussy. Also, then they show you say, oh, I want to do my pay, but we are carrying me. So you want to deny the fact? No. And I'll tell you that we are, you say, we are saying, but as we're talking, you're not carrying who talk around. You're not saying who talk around, people around, but you're person for what? There's a people talk there. When they fall for, you know that one? You know that? You know that one? Don't say no, you say, also, you come in, also, when you come in on it, after that, now left the laugh. We are and know who can good people that in a phone box.
But nobody got pinpoint in the mansion. But nobody got pinpoint in the mansion, man. You can see that.
In the phone box, in the phone box.
But but we. In the convo. We'll leave you right there, man. Sisi. Let's take the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How are you? I see Pimple in convo before. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you, my brother. Okay. How you doing?
We're great, my brother. Let's hear you.
All right. Let me say hello to Sarah Leza. This is the biggest spokesperson for the Liberian Sarah movement. And I gave you a car account. When you say thank you for your brilliant idea, this is why I said you are patriotic, you are nationalistic, because all the ideas from other countries, you pay for it. But in that brain, give it to all feeling. So my brother, God bless you richly.
Like
you said, like you said, even in Africa, you know, come your cars down. I can only go in Africa, pay 90,000 or just 6 years. I think for 45,000 will be okay for them. And all money can be used for that project. But let me say, you know, poor, this party, we confuse party in the whole world, not in the world. It is second that battle, you confuse party in the whole world. All countries they got to party, already like this, but you know, party, we confuse party. You see, somebody got room for her to what is the power about the benefit back? When it's the social benefit, all of them let everybody you use it and do all things that you're correct, that you don't do because they are still able to put you and they do it. And you know what it is? You got a policy or give you the full mind. Because when we put our camera without all discussing, I mean, my tripping out already, your interest is my sitting there. You see, you know what other thing you're doing it. Come here, look at this job because we are what is that?
Thank you. Thank you very much. When we will leave you, we go to America and talk to this person. Go ahead. Let's hear you 1 minute.
Thank you very much. This is GD Tubawader there, calling from Canada.
Canada.
Just thank you for the program. You know, just for listening to you, Oliver. Look, Oliver, I said the young people, the fee for the Liberian people to get out there. Look, listen to that apartment thing you're talking about. Canada, yeah. The people discover that housing is an issue here. So getting housing crisis. So the government decided to pump billions of dollars into that. The same thing. Look, local education ministry, the old education ministry, the people that pay that thing, you think they can pay apartment building all around that booster quarter, all around there for people to do it in government can own those kind of thing? But you see the old people like there, Nana, they're not thinking about the future. They're thinking about the pocket. They don't have my bro at heart. They don't care for the people, the young people. They don't care for the people around. Look, look, they think what the people can use that to pay her or do something. Look, when I see someone, the thing, when I look at it, I ask myself, I say, why are our people behaving like it? Look at that thing is Speaker Kofa just proposed. You think it can happen? It can happen. But you think it will make it happen? Begging you, yeah. It will not make it happen. So yeah, leave it.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Keep sharing out there.
Okay,
we appreciate it.
We leave you right there. Thank you very much from Canada. Let's leave you and talk to this other person from Liberia. Go ahead. Let's hear you. 1 minute. How are you? How you doing?
Okay, please, let me say good evening to your listening audience. My name is Prince B. Yellow, and I do join for the borough of Kuta.
Go ahead, Prince O. Let's hear you.
Let me say thank you for your topic on discussion. President Weah is doing that those
people. Prince, we are not getting you. Change your location. Okay, we lost Prince. I don't know. Prince, are you there? Hello? Oh no. Prince left the line. Let's talk to the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How are you? How you doing?
Thank you. Edmond, the visually impaired are keeping Burger to the fire to deliver.
Go ahead, Edmond.
Good bill, good initiative. We hope that we could get somebody to share, to buy into the idea. But it's going to be a difficult task because the regime speaker is sitting over the representative and then they are already in darkness. So as long as they cannot put current in their place, they will not be able to effectively support that bill. President Cooper has been set free so that she can be able to testify against Fonati Kofa. Clear. Because I don't know, you indict the people. You are not allowed her to appear. So how come you syndicate her? If you want the top report, it is in it and they are saying, oh, this and that. That is what happening. She has been investigated to testify against Fonati. But we watch for her to testify after her testimony. Quickly to the health issue. Look, and you see there, you know how I appreciate your peace? The man said, you guys should not preach any peace. And for us, we have said, those of us who come from CDC and started supporting President Weah, it is clear that this time we are not going to take it to the United Party people. When they say racket, we'll say Misa. The only way this peace will be is we go to Accra peace of call. We're going to fire for fire. President Weah has displayed his nature. He's not using space B. President Weah has said he woke up in the morning, he go in the gym, he train, he pay back, he eat breakfast, he go for his meetings. But the other people that is we found out they clean there, they did there, they get them ready. We don't know the person he's talking about. Your I see. But we are also who is still shy to train in the gym. We are not seeing anything coming up from their star. Then they come up. As we speak, we are leading them 3-0. We're waiting for them. We are ready. It's no more time that will bow down, that you mock our political leader. He's no more in your presidency. He is a private life and developing a party. As long as you will make it your project to come after him, we will seriously come after you and will also go beyond you. No ceasefire, fire for fire. Thank you.
Okay, we leave you right there. We talk to this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How are you? How you doing? Let's hear you.
Okay, how you doing? And how you doing to Eliza?
Go ahead.
Okay. Two things quick I want to talk on. The first one would be the letter, proposed letter that Honorable Kofa, the councillor, has proposed to put on the floor on Thursday. Okay. Like he said, I think that it should be a bill that Councillor Kofa will sponsor and ask his colleague to support him so that it can be passed into law. And that money, it should set a standard through the Ministry of Public Work, the kinds of building, the style, the designs, and to be put up for our people.
not just paying rent, but it should be something like how our president we are Saturday Popo housing unit. They can do that and designate our land and build those places. Take the people from West Point, carry them there, and put skyscraper in West Point. Take the people from Slaveway, carry them there, and put skyscraper right, and put storage building right in Slaveway and other places, in other slum communities, to give our city a beautiful face. The next thing is about the discussion concerning President we are illness. Okay, we agree. So President, we are sick. Let's agree, because if the government said to deal with a fool, you gotta agree with them. The United Party people think that they are fools, so we agree with them. But President, we are just in the gym the morning here in Carrasco, and he's taking exercise. The man who's sick, who can stand in your church according to them. So it means that when you're in church now, you tired standing, you don't sit down. When you sit down, you're sick. So you see the kind of, you see the kind of naivety of the people. So these people are looking for something to grab. Look, okay, the government have deteriorated. No, the people are looking for means to hang everywhere. Look at the information ministry. So it means that anytime the information ministry is doing press briefing, when they're not called Joey, they didn't call CDC, now they're not press briefing. So what kind of people are these? What kind of idea do they have? What kind of education they got? They're you come to America, you go to Harvard, you go to all the university. What did you learn about information? Dissemination, I mean. Don't be serious in this country. Our country needs serious minded people. Not people who will stand and boast. Then let's not take the back, and if you call George Riadi, then at the end of the day he's saying this kind of harsh remark. Why are you ending with that? Let us continue. But we prayed and we are saying that fire for fire. The CEO will give it, the CEO will give it back to you, and will give it back to you triple time. If you send one bomb, we will drop 20. Will be the elsewhere. You send us one, we will drop 20, so that you will know that we'll destroy you to your root.
Okay, thank you.
This is bad. Our country needs reconciliation, man. Okay, we need reconciliation.
Thank you.
People should stop.
Thank you.
Thank you. And God bless you, man.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Musa Brown from the U.S. Let's go and talk to this other person on the line. Good evening. How are you? How you doing? Good evening, ma'am. Let's hear you quickly. Go ahead, patient.
Mob now it's so that they're making it worse. So yeah, we are sick. They make more points when they make something that is space. That is way more.
No. I mean, you gotta leave that. I mean, we should not tell her the conversation in that direction.
Okay, you see how far I go? We are gonna say, man. Let's tell the people that I don't think we get more. You should not tell so many people. They install and nobody to talk.
Okay. All right, patient. Thank you very much. We'll leave you. We'll talk to the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How are you? How you doing? We gotta go. Let's hear you, sir. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Yes, I'm Eric Chinga, joining the conversation from
Go ahead, Eric. Let's hear you.
Yeah, bro, you guys have said it all. You know, when it comes to President, we are the information about President, we are being paid, we don't able to tell. No problem. You know, if it's me with my one, my brother, I just wanted people to focus on reaction until even when me our current president get up on the mansion, get everything they to react to us. They make me happy. Because they don't have, you know, when they do it right, they make us more popular. When they do it right, they make physician more famous, but they don't know. They are educated, but they don't have any level of education. Education is that
Okay, thank you very much, bro. We leave you right there. Let's talk to the last person. We call your day. Go ahead. Let's hear you. 1 minute.
Hello?
How are you, sir? Let's hear you, Chief.
Yeah, I'm Austin
Kanave, go ahead. Go ahead, Austin. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm very interested in what you are just proposal, I call it, you discuss.
It is about
the bill that financial cover part.
That's right.
Yeah, that is a very issue that we should discuss.
It is a proposal from Councillor Kofa.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So the thing about president, we have been saying a while. That's a just. And for me, I'm a UPS driver. Where I can say it's a distraction because if we are thinking sorry, then we should be thinking about how when it can be put up about there by now, whoever is dead. About that, we should be discussing power.
Okay.
So, So actually.
Okay, thank you very much. From Badger Fadra, we leave you right there. A unity partisan, but he said we should not talk about it. Yeah, because I mean it's obvious now. Okay, we'll leave you right there and take the last person. You're the last caller, then we go home. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. How are you doing?
We're great. Alexa here also.
And let me say good evening to Alexa. This is Papa William Anthony from my district. I think cabinet service this evening.
Go ahead, my brother, from the cabinet side.
Yeah, okay. Let me say thanks for the talking point. Let me say thanks to our lawmaker and our honorable mayor, Mr. Kofa, for that bill. And I hope all CDC lawmaker will support that bill. And all opposition lawmaker, when you're in the party, you should support that bill because that bill is beneficial to us, we the common people. So nobody should say that bill in committee. They should go and arrange it so that it can also. Okay. If let's say president, we are in state. I'm taking it tomorrow. Can Joe Biden the president today? And our president Joe how do you call it, John Manuel, we are. Let them go and job from Ria Joshua to here there is Joshua. So they will know who they. And then open a job.
I mean, damn wicked. You're very bad. Damn wicked.
Okay.
You're damn wicked.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They say what they need to tell us. They don't care whether Joe Biden say or not. Even when he in the weekend of the president. So today we don't care whether president we can be sick or not. If he in the weekend said we will still make president to the same level Joe Biden president today. So we don't care whether your president going sick. We allow us to we make president for the second time.
Okay, we leave you right there. We gotta go. Alexa, we got to go.
One more freedom
Okay, it reminds me of Abu Sharif and Hagar Gonda on Freedom Money Rise. They came as freedom fighters, and right now they've become owners of $10 million mansions and $1.2 million vehicles.
When they were coming, they said they were liberators, but when they came,
when they were coming, they came in the form of liberators. Later on, they became rapists, raping 14-year-old children and freeing them without persecution.
They are freedom fighters. What kind of people this? They are freedom fighters.
We got to go home and return here on tomorrow. Alexa will be here on tomorrow. I'll be having a day's break on tomorrow. I'll be leaving for tomorrow, but Alexa will be here. Don't worry, she'll be here to do Freedom Hub on 87.9. If she doesn't do the show, when I come back Thursday, let me know. And so we got to go home, Alexa. Let's go. We'll return on.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Okay. Until then, have yourself a wonderful time. God bless you. Bye-bye. And Standard Number will pay you $5,000 on his term. Go ahead. Continue playing. *25 *1 hatch.